Good evening, everyone. My name is Zain Jamu, and welcome to the main news.
My name is Joyce Mabiga. Thank you for joining us. Susan Masona is on sign language.
Later on, Marilyn Gwena will join us from our Montreux studios, but these are our headlines.
President Emerson Nangagwa commissions Geopomona waste sorting plant.
On a sad note, former Zambian President Edgar Lungu dies.
ECD teacher appears in court facing charges of culpable homicide.
ZPC technical operator Nyasha Marira leaves for Comrades Marathon slated for South Africa on Sunday.
Those are our leading stories. We'll now give you the news in detail. President Emerson Nangagwa has implored the country's citizens to embrace a culture of responsible waste disposal and environmental stewardship.
He was speaking at the commissioning of the Geopomona waste sorting plant and refuse collection trucks in Harare this Thursday. Let's take a look.
Almost 2 years after the groundbreaking ceremony, the Geopomona waste-to-energy project continues to register milestones towards promoting sustainable waste management in the country. President Emerson Nangagwa commissioned and toured the sorting plant, which is a symbol of innovation and modernization towards a clean, health and environmental-friendly city. Besides the sorting plant, the head of state also commissioned 45 trucks and 100 skip bins, which are part of the country's quest towards efficiency in waste management.
The responsibility of waste management does not lie with Geopomona alone. It is the duty of every Zimbabwean. As we roll out a modern waste collection system, I urge all of us Zimbabweans to desist from illegal dumping. Let us embrace a culture of responsible waste disposal, recycling, and environmental stewardship in order to realize our goal of a clean, safe, and healthy environment.
President Nangagwa said the plant represents critical infrastructure towards generation of between 16 to 22 megawatts of electricity.
It is important, Amazon, to note that waste is not just waste. Waste is actually a resource. With this modern sorting facility, recyclable materials can be recovered, repurposed, and reintegrated into the economy. The waste sorting plant, sorting plant, is a critical enabler of the waste-to-energy project, which will soon contribute between 16 up to 22 megawatts of electricity to the national grid. The plant is here to separate and repurpose the requisite waste into energy, a solution that exemplifies innovation and modernization, which my government continues to advance.
The commissioning of the waste sorting plant is coincided with commemorations of World Environment Day under the theme Ending Plastic Pollution, which dovetails with the country's aspirations.
The World Environment Day brings together millions of people across the globe to recommit their shared mission of protecting the environment for the present and future generations to enjoy. For Zimbabwe, this theme is particularly critical due to the country's growing plastic waste crisis, which clogs waterways, threatens wildlife and our wetlands, as well as contributes to environmental degradation countrywide. As we prepare as Zimbabwe to host COP15 on the Convention on Wetlands, Ramsar, in July this year, addressing plastic pollution is essential to safeguarding our wetlands, which are key biodiversity hotspots that support water security, tourism, and livelihoods. To date, the waste collection crisis, particularly in the capital city of Harare, has had dire consequences, ranging from environmental degradation to public health risks, among other negative impacts. We have seen outbreaks of diseases, a situation that is wholly unacceptable. Such conditions must become a thing of the past.
The Geopomona Waste-to-Energy project cements the confidence that investors have in the obtaining economic environment and the strength of public-private partnerships. Bruce Chawanda, CBC News, Harare.
The commissioning of refuse collection equipment by President Emerson Nangagwa represents a new era in waste management, and for the first time, the city of Harare will be fully equipped to carry out waste management operations.
This project started just 3 years ago, and here we are. Tomorrow, these 45 refuse collection trucks will be on the roads of Harare tomorrow morning, in yet another milestone in terms of transforming the city of Harare into a sunshine city status. 2,500 skip bins and 45 trucks is the beginning of a new cleaner city, at the same time contributing towards the national grid.
We know the dangers of unmanaged waste. Today we recommit ourselves to ensuring that such risks are minimized through effective and constant waste collection, especially in hotspot areas like Mbare, where regular service and increased placement of skip bins will be now a reality. The 45 refuse collection trucks and 100 skip bins we are commissioning today, part of the broader long-term strategies to revolutionize waste management across the capital. And this is just the beginning. We have additional equipment on the way, including skip trucks, street sweepers, and mixer trucks to further strengthen our operational capacity. This expansion also creates employment opportunities, as we are set to recruit 488 individuals to waste collection across the capital.
The city fathers have embraced this tripartite partnership in terms of restoring the city's waste management operations, while government says once this project is finished, it is going to ease challenges of energy in the country.
Before Pomona came on board, or Geopomona came on board, we used to have an average per day of 16 trucks against a need of 71. One skip truck against a need of 9. 2 front-end loaders against a need of 5. 4 tipper trucks against a need of 20. Skip bins, we had 55 against a need of over 2,000. And I'm made to understand 2,500 are beginning to come.
We have seen a solution which was crafted and being implemented, which is a public-private partnership, as was said, between government represented by the Ministry of Local Government in the management of the waste, and also utilization of that waste to generate income, having a generation of electricity of between 16 to 22 megawatts. This is an absolute fantastic achievement, and also a great step forward in implementing the call to action blueprint.
Harare Metropolitan Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Senator Charles Tawengwa, reflected on the transformative impact of these projects to create a world-class modern city.
We are filled with renewed hope and optimism. The equipment commissioned here and the rollout of door-to-door waste collection signals the dawn of a new era, one defined by order, efficiency, and shared responsibility.
The Second Republic's Open for Business mantra has exposed the country to the global investment opportunity in terms of bringing innovative and modern world-class solutions. And this multi-million-dollar sorting plant is the first of its kind in Southern Africa. It is going to create jobs, but most importantly, to feed the waste-to-energy plant, which is going to ease the country's energy challenges. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
3 ambassadors from Africa and Latin America have presented their credentials to President Emerson Mnangagwa at State House in Harare this Thursday, all vowing to scale up business ties with Zimbabwe during their tour of duty. Our chief correspondent, Ruben Barwe, filed the following report.
First to present his credentials to the President, Comrade Emerson Nangagwa at State House, was General Retired Peter Namatanda of the Republic of Malawi, who is coming from the Malawi Defense Forces. He comes at a time when the relationship between the two sister republics is excellent, and what is needed is to scale up the business between the two respective countries. General Namatanda spoke to journalists on his first ambassadorial assignment since leaving the military.
I'm hoping that my time here will be consolidating one of the foundations that my predecessors already set down on the ground. Now, the President was also emphasizing on the issues that we have been working on in terms of agriculture between the two countries, in terms of tourism, and in terms of industry.
The United Republic of Tanzania's new ambassador to Zimbabwe is Madame Susan Salome Kagunda, who is coming from the land of the late Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere. Yes, when you talk of Tanzania, you are talking of the land that was the crucible of African liberation. And Ambassador Kagunda says, riding on the glorious history between the two countries, her tour of duty is to expand the trade and business links between Harare and Dodoma, as mandated by her principal, President Samia Suluhu Hassan.
Our cooperation will be cemented to see that we care forward the development of our people. And as you all understand, just 2 weeks, our President, Excellence Madam Samia Suluhu Hassan, have launched our foreign policy, where, among other things, the emphasis is on economic diplomacy. So we are looking forward to strengthen our cooperation in areas that will benefit our people. Those include agriculture, mining, tourist industry, and adding value to our product, especially those from agriculture and mining.
The Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela's new ambassador, though Vinduk best, is Madame Magali Henriquez Gonzalez. Zimbabwe and Venezuela were both slapped with illegal Western sanctions, all in the hope of effecting changes of governments. The resilience of their people against all odds has seen them remain steadfast. This revolutionary solidarity can be exploited in building economic links between the two countries, says Ambassador Gonzalez.
Estamos enfocando la relación entre nuestros países.
We would like to focus on the relationship between our two countries, especially in the petroleum,
minera,
mining,
agricultura,
agriculture,
educación,
education,
ciencia y tecnología.
And science and technology.
El año pasado estuvimos en la primera comisión mixta entre ambos países.
Just last year we had a joint commission of cooperation between Venezuela and Zimbabwe that was held in Caracas.
Y estamos avanzando en la concreción de todos esos proyectos.
And now we are advancing in the implementation of the signed agreements.
Comenzando con intercambios en el área de formación.
And already just starting off in the areas of training.
En el área petrolera.
In training in petroleum.
Y medicina,
and of course in medicine. And in medicine.
So the two African nations of Malawi, the warm heart of Africa, Tanzania, the land of Ngorongoro crater and Mount Kilimanjaro, and Venezuela, that land of the late revolutionary Hugo Chavez and President Maduro, wanted to expand economic links with Zimbabwe for the mutual benefit of their respective countries. Ruben Barwes, CBC News, Harare.
A former Zambian president, Dr. Edgar Lungu, has died. He was 68.
The former president, who had been receiving specialized treatment in South Africa, died this Thursday at Mediclinic Medforum Hospital in Pretoria. Chagwa, Member of Parliament and daughter to Dr. Lungu, Honorable Tasila Lungu Mwansa, confirmed the said development.
It is with profound sorrow that we announce the passing of His Excellency, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, 6th President of the Republic of Zambia, who departed this morning at 06 hours at Medforum Clinic, a center in South Africa. My father, President Lungu, had been under medical supervision in recent weeks. His condition was managed with dignity and privacy, with support from all well-wishers. In this moment of grief, we invoke the spirit of one Zambia, one nation.
President Lungu served as Zambia's sixth Republican president between 2015 and 2021. Details and funeral arrangements will be announced in due course.
May his soul rest in peace. In our following report, President Emerson Mnangagwa's classmates in the law class of 1975 at the University of Zambia, who were in the country for a reunion, have bade farewell to the head of state.
They are now pursuing different lives, each on a different career path, bound by friendships forged in 1975 when they all attended law school at the University of Zambia. These friends once again met and reminisced on the good old days. Among them was President Emerson Mnangagwa, who hosted his former classmates. After an event held at State House on Wednesday, the class of 1975 bade farewell to the president this Thursday. For President Nangagwa, he was elated to see his friends and enjoyed catching up.
These are my classmates. We grew up together. And I'm so happy that they found time to come and see me. There's nothing so important in life that you see the people you played with 50 years ago remember you and come and see you. I don't know what I can do to reciprocate, but I'm extremely happy that they have come to see me. These are my colleagues and schoolmates in Zambia. Yes.
Did the president's former classmates even think among them was a future president? Justice Esau Chulu, who would drive around the streets of Zambia with President Mnangagwa, responded to this.
Did you ever think at one point that you are learning with somebody who would become a president?
Well, not at all, really.
He thought he himself
Not at all, really, you know. But you see, in life, that's what happens. You know, you never know who you're playing around with, who you're entertaining, and what that person might be in the future. And here it is indeed. We had that bond of relationship, friendship, driving around together in Lusaka, Zambia. But little did we know that we were hosting a future president. And so, indeed, God blessed us as a class, as a family, to have one of us rising to the status of head of state. And so we are so grateful to God to have made this, His Excellency Dr. Idi Nangagwa as President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and as a colleague of ours.
As they head back home, they hold on to the memories, with new ones having been created as well. Josephine Mugio, CBC News, State House, Harare.
The 34th Committee of SADC Ministers of Trade and the 24th Ministerial Task Force on Regional Integration has concluded with strong focus on boosting intra-regional trade and enhancing regional cooperation. We now link up with our reporter, John Nandara, to give us a roundup of the week-long regional engagements. It's a very good evening to you, John. You can go ahead.
Well, it is a very good evening, and thank you very much for joining us. My name is John Nandara. We are here at the Parliament building in Mount Hampden, where two crucial SADC meetings were being held, and they've just concluded. That is the 34th Committee of Ministers of Trade, as well as the 24th Ministerial Task Force on Regional Integration. And to shed more light on the key takeaways from these two meetings is none other than SADC's Executive Secretary, Mr. Elias Mahosi. It is a very good evening and welcome to ZBC News.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to be back in Harare.
Thank you very much. Now, what would you say were the key takeaways from these meetings that were held for the past 5 days?
Yes, I think everything else culminated in today's meetings, the one that was held earlier, the Committee of Ministers of Trade, and then just the immediate one on the Ministerial Task Force. on regional economic integration. The first one being the Ministers of Trade, recognition that integration of our region cannot happen if trade doesn't happen. All member states recognize today that trade is critical and central to us integrating. We all have resources. We are all endowed with natural resources and unique to our respective countries. Others are common amongst our countries. We need to exploit these resources, but we also need to trade with other people. Before we even think of partners to trade with outside of our region, even outside of our continent, perhaps it's about time we focus within the region, because the market is here. We are leaving the market going elsewhere. So there is that recognition by the ministers that trade ought to happen here within ourselves and amongst ourselves. If you look at 18% of trading within the region, and about 80-something% is SADC trading, SADC member states trading with people outside of the continent. That's a worrying development, and it must be reversed. The second aspect, which is the ministerial task force, this one is focused purely on industrialization and obviously integration, but the underpinning theme is industrialization. Again, when it comes to this, there is a protocol on industry. Member states recognize today that without them ratifying and signing this protocol, it's almost half the job done. So it's important that they should do that. It's not the Secretariat that signs. We can continue encouraging, but it has to be done and led by the leaders themselves. We thank the Republic of Zimbabwe, who started this journey of industrialization back in 2014. And they are here now where we are reviewing the strategy 10 years later, and they're still leading this process. And they're also leading in terms of actual industrialization that we want in the region. President Nangagwa, his government, and most people are seeing it real time in Zimbabwe.
Now, going forward from the discussions, what were the resolutions in terms of pushing for this industrialization agenda, as well as maybe boosting intra-SADC trade?
There is a recognition that we must, and that's why we came up, or council in March, not in March, in August last year, they directed the Secretariat to look at the top 10 imports and the top 10 exports of all the 16 member states and the entire region, which ones are the top, and we've done that. So they were looking at that report. And there's a recognition here, which again the chair of this ministerial committees emphasized, that we need to depend more on ourselves. And depending more on ourselves is to trade with each other. It's to also resource mobilize internally. That's the only way that we can actually industrialize. That's the only way that we can actually enhance trade. But we also need to remove non-tariff barriers, because those are the ones that are really inhibiting private sector and businesses to actually trade with each other.
I must thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Elias Mahosi, SADC's Executive Secretary, giving us an insight with regards to the meetings, SADC meetings that have just concluded. These were the 34th Committee Ministers of Trade, as well as the Ministers' Task Force on Regional Economic Integration. My name is John Nandara, signing off from Mount Habden. It is back to the studio.
Thank you for the update, John. And our following report, the First Lady, Dr. Nangagwa, has met with the Indian Ambassador to Zimbabwe, His Excellency Brahma Kumar, who expressed interest in working with her in various fields, including agriculture, health, education, and women empowerment. Let's take a look.
The Indian ambassador to Zimbabwe, His Excellency Brahma Kumar, paid a courtesy call on the First Lady, Dr. Nangagwa, at her offices this Thursday, where various areas of cooperation in agriculture, health, childcare, education, agriculture, mining, environment, culture, and women empowerment were explored. During the meeting, His Excellency Brahma Kumar started by commending the people of Zimbabwe for their hospitality. He then spoke on the importance of exchange programs between India and Zimbabwe in various fields. The ambassador also stated how India has managed to reduce human-wildlife conflict, which is in line with the First Lady's work in a capacity as the country's environment patron. Dr. Nangagwa is always spearheading vigorous awareness campaigns against different types of human-wildlife conflict, including poaching. His Excellency Kuma also talked about the importance of traditional knowledge systems, highlighting that India is a very strong player in traditional knowledge systems, especially with regards to medicine. The ambassador also indicated the importance of establishing forests with indigenous trees, which dovetails with Dr. Nangagwa's reforestation drive in a capacity as the environment patron. Owing to Amai Nangagwa's sterling efforts in promoting women's agricultural exploits, the ambassador's rallying point was for India and Zimbabwean women in agriculture to have exchange programs, adding that his country has identified 2 national agricultural institutions for women from both countries to have scientific collaboration. He added that India, just like Zimbabwe, is endowed with vast minerals, highlighting the need for exchange programs on training for mine workers.
I want to strengthen India-Zimbabwe relationship in mines and minerals, in healthcare sector, and of course in trade and commerce, and connecting regulatory authorities of the both countries, including in the healthcare and agriculture, so that we can try to find out a more common program which can help people of our 2 countries for their prosperity and of course their own capacity building. My predecessor has joined Her Excellency program. I am looking forward to join those programs if where diplomats are invited.
The First Lady, who warmly welcomed the ambassador, expressed delight, outlining some of the empowerment projects she is undertaking in a drive to improve livelihoods in an all-inclusive approach which focuses on the entire family. Amai Nangagwa, an empowerment champion, also invited the ambassador to attend some of your programs and have an appreciation of some of the numerous initiatives she is spearheading. Dr. Nangagwa also emphasized the importance of exchange programs in areas of health and education. She highlighted how exchange programs in health will be beneficial to the country, especially in rural communities, saying that it will help complement the medical outreach programs. In her capacity as the environment patron, she highlighted the importance of having Zimbabwean artisanal miners receiving training on how to practice safe mining.
Now we need to strengthen relationships and friendship, workmanship, development and growth of both countries. And I think you need to know more about what I do. If I have a program, I will invite you to come and see when I deal with women, how I do it. When I'm in health, how I do it. When I'm in schools, how I do it. When I'm in social services, how I do it. In education, that's a very big program that we need to have exchange of training programs in education. Under Angel of Hope, we have a student who is in India who is going to graduate in July, and I'm very happy for him that he has succeeded and he has passed to the level of getting his degree. So we're looking forward for him to come back and then start working for his country.
The Mother of the Nation also noted some positives which have been realized through collaboration in education. Dr. Nangagwa has maintained a good working relationship with India through various initiatives. She was conferred with an honorary doctorate in philosophy by an Indian university in recognition of her philanthropic work through the Angel of Hope Foundation, making her the first African to receive such an honor from the university. Colette Msanyera, ZBC News, Harare.
Hwange Colliery Company has injected over $8 million United States dollars towards resuscitation of its coke oven battery, which has not been operational for over a decade. We get that report from our Matabeleland North Bureau Chief, Muhlomli Ngube.
The development will see the company producing over 18,000 tons of coke per month and has been hailed as critical, with local, regional and global demand for coking coal continuing to soar. The ongoing change of fortunes at the coal mining company are directly linked to government's decision to place Hwange Colliery under administration, a move that has resulted in improved productivity and employee welfare.
Administration, the new management, the team yard.
The company is the key driver of the energy and power dynamics in Hwange through its core output, which is directed to power generation. A synergy of production has also been created as other companies into coke making get the bulk of their product from Hwange Colliery, a company in which government is the major stakeholder. Mhlomuli Ncube, CBC News, Hwange.
You're watching the main news. These and more stories are also available on our website in greater detail. Our website is www.zbcnews.co.zw.
Or you can get in touch with us on our social media handles, that is at ZBC News Online.
Still to come in this bulletin. ECD teacher appears in court facing charges of culpable homicide.
Later on, ZBC technical operator Nyasha Marira leaves for Comrades Marathon slated for South Africa on Sunday. The main news takes a breather. We'll be back with you shortly.
Are you a dynamic and enterprising woman running a small business? Whether you're involved in horticulture, fashion design, visual arts, confectionery, the beauty industry, catering and food services, event decor, poultry farming, goat projects, cross-border trading, or small-scale retailing, this is your moment. Join us from the 6th to the 8th of June at Harare Gardens for the inaugural Women's Market Galore. Showcase your business at this groundbreaking event hosted by Empowerment Champion, the First Lady, Dr. Nangagwa. Admission is free and you are all invited to come. For registration and inquiries, please contact 0719 527 703 or 0778 858-056. Please note that this program will be extended to all provinces across the country on dates to be announced. Empowering women means empowering the nation. Don't miss this opportunity to shine.
Create big moments with the fam. Get the KFC Family Fiesta. That's 6 pieces of chicken, 4 zinger wings, 2 mashed gravies, and large chip.
Welcome to a new era in tobacco farm. The Tobacco Industry and Marketing Board, TIMB, has rolled out the biometric grower management system to protect every genuine tobacco grower. With this innovative technology, only you can verify your identity for account adjustments, input collection, stop orders, and insurance. You also get support and payments without delays. Biometrics offer you security, efficiency, and transparency. Why wait? Visit the nearest TIMB office now with your national ID. We will capture your fingerprints and link them to your grower number. You can also register at tobacco selling points as you sell your tobacco. It's fast and it's easy. We guarantee that your biometric data is protected and will only be used to improve the tobacco industry database and processes. Our offices are in Harare, Butare, Rusape, Murundera, Bandura, Karoi, Mvurwi, and Chimbui. Visit the office nearest to you, get your fingerprints captured, and secure a thriving future for the tobacco industry. Register your fingerprints. Secure your future. Grow with confidence.
The winter wheat planting window has been extended to the 15th of June 2025, giving farmers additional time to complete their planting activities. However, farmers are strongly encouraged to expedite their planting to take full advantage of the remaining time and ensure optimal crop establishment. Given the late planting, it's essential to adjust the seed rate upwards, potentially 260 kgs per hectare, to compensate for the anticipated reduction in tillers. At this stage, opting for early maturity wheat varieties is highly recommended, as these can mature before the onset of the rainy season. To start with a vigorous growth, basal fertilizer application is crucial at planting time, with a recommendation rate of 500 kgs per hectare of compound D or 350 kgs per hectare of zero blend. Immediately after planting, irrigating the fields to field capacity will help facilitate easy germination. Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development. Food security everywhere, every day.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. The Dombotombo housing project in Marondera is on course with construction of flats for civil servants nearing completion.
The project, which is nearing completion, is set to accommodate 64 families, with the contractor working on final touches. The construction of civil servants accommodation in Marondera and other cities has reaffirmed the Second Republic's commitment to providing affordable and decent housing through collaborations with public and private partners in line with the National Development Strategy 1. Speaking to ZBC News after touring the project this Thursday, Special Advisor to the President responsible for monitoring implementation of government programs, Dr. Joram Gumbo, said the development is tangible evidence of the Second Republic's commitment to addressing housing needs.
This project at the Marondera Dombotombo housing project, which is being undertaken by our government, is one of the milestones for the Second Republic, which enhances His Excellency's mantra that Nyika inova nevena vayo. And I'm glad that this project here is solely for civil servants. Most of them are based in Harare, and they have to travel back and forth to come to work, and that actually compromises their effectiveness at their place of work. And therefore, this is a very good move.
Inyaya uya 64 units zishakwanisa kuti batsira zvikuru kuti ma civil servants emuno agare padhuze nebasa pari comfortable, pari affordable.
Government has set an ambitious target of 1 million housing units by the end of this year.
We're now crossing over to our Montrose studios in Bulawayo, and it is Marilyn Gwenya on the other side. A very good evening to you, Marilyn.
Good evening and many thanks to you, Joyce. In our following report, Esomabula cattle rancher has become the envy of many after establishing a successful livestock production venture, which has seen him bagging top accolades every season. Our reporter Courage Boucher filed the following report.
As part of efforts to improve livestock production through improved genetics, a Somabula cattle rancher, Mr. Vincent Manga, is overwhelmed after venturing into improved genetics cattle production. With Simmental, Brahman and Nguni breeds, the farmer is putting theory into practice after embracing government's vision of value addition. Cattle ranching has always been a popular practice given that cows symbolize wealth culturally. However, Manga is taking farming as a business.
Takazvitanga sehobby, but later on, tichienderera mberi, we realized that it's also a business. So it's now cattle ranching as business. Yokuita maprojects akawanda nemombe. Yave nyaya yekuti tisangoise mazaiwa ose mubasket one. Ndo nyaya iripo. Saka tinozopedzisira takuita project yedairy, so that even perform panwene mukaka.
Manga is charting a new path as he is producing study bulls for the export market.
Chatinokwanisa kuexporta zvino mabhuru kuti lese munhu auya pastudy yedu awana bhuru rakanaka akaritenga rogadzirwa mapermits aro rokwanisa kubuda roenda kuexport.
Over the past few years, the demand for good quality beef products has been on the increase. Karejushe, ZBC News, Somabula.
With less than 10 days before the Insiza North by-election, candidates from various political parties are upscaling their campaigns to win the hearts of the electorate.
The race to the Insiza North parliamentary seat has reached fever pitch, with candidates from various political parties burning midnight candles to win the hearts of the people of Insiza on the 14th of June. At Sejwe Business Center, Mr. Tabani Mlocha of ZAPU is racing against time as he is putting together the campaign team.
Nasibuya Insiza North nge devolution of power. Amandla sifuna ayezabelweni ebantwini. Abantu babe yibo abatsho ukuthi lokhu la lokhu yikho sifuna ukuthi sizenzele khona.
Another candidate, Mr. Leslie Dube, also believes in continuing the projects which were being implemented by the late comrade Farai Taruingam.
My first priority is those unfinished projects.
I'm looking at how we can finish our projects at Hwange, the late MP, because it doesn't make sense to start new things while we've got old projects that are unfinished.
Bubbling in confidence after a massive turnout in the primary elections, ZANU-PF candidate Comrade Delani Moyo has hit the ground running, sinking 14 boreholes and grading major roads in Insiza North in less than 2 weeks.
Sisilandela umbono kaPresident, sisezinyaweni zombono kaPresident owe Vision 2030 okubana kusiyafika 2030 no one and no place will be left behind. Khuluma kanje ayisiyo ibhoholo yakuqala esidrilliwe. Sesidrilliwe ama-boreholes around 14 across the constituents, the whole constituents. Njalo imigwaqo sesiqalisile njalo kubana isetshenzwe. Sisetshenzwe sokusezingeni laphezulu.
Efforts to get a comment from Mr. Mbongeni Moyo of Zimbabwe National Revival Party were fruitless after he refused to grant this news crew an interview. The Insiza North constituents fell vacant after the death of Comrade Farai Tarwinga in March this year. 4 candidates, Comrade Delani Moyo of ZANU-PF, Zapus Tabani Mloja, Mr. Mbongeni Moyo of the Zimbabwe National Revival Party, and an independent candidate, Mr. Leslie Dube, will battle it out for the seat on the 14th of this month. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Insiza.
Still on by-elections, the ZANU-PF leadership has intensified its campaign in Gutu East constituency, mobilizing support for the party's candidate, Comrade Zwarevashe Maswingise, in the upcoming by-election slated for the 14th of this month.
As the Gutu East parliamentary by-election draws closer, the ruling ZANU-PF party says it is looking forward to winning resoundingly as they continue to engage their supporters. The party leadership, led by ZANU-PF Politburo members Comrade Love Mo Matuke and Comrade Paul Mangwana, descended on Chinyika area to canvass for support.
Tinoona kuti election yedu by-election yedu ingori walkover. Nokuti vanhu vese vanotaridza kuti vachange vachivhotera musangano wavo. Munongoona nouwandu hwavo muwadhi yataita inoyi, zvinotaridza kuti vanhu vari kusapota president kubudikidza nevision yavo inonge iri centered kuti ibatsire vanhu kuti vadevelope ivo pachavo vachibatsirwa nehurumende. Saka hationi tichiruza ma-elections aya. Ingori yeformality yokuti musi wa14 June tinge tichingoti vanhu vaende kunovhota. Tiri kufaitira manumbers kwete kuruza election, nokuti response iri munomu tinoda kutenda president kuti zvavari kutiitira zvinoonekwa neresponse yatopiwa navanhu vatotungamirira.
Baba Nangagwa vane chivimbo chokuti kuno kwaGutu tiri muso weZANU-PF, asi tikaita muso weZANU-PF tisina kubuda kuinda kunovhota hapana zvatinge taita. Toda kuita muso weZANU-PF unobuda kunotsikira ZANU-PF nokuivhotera. Tawinisa MP kuno kunzvimbo kwedu, zvinotibatsira kuti mashoko edu ezvatinoshuvira akasike kusvika kuna president.
Comrade Zwarevashe Maswingise paid tribute to President Emerson Mnangagwa and the party leadership for the support, saying they continue to implement development programs in the area.
Semusangano tiri kutarisira kuwina zvine mutsindo. Kuwina takawina kare. Asi takutarisira zvine mutsindo nokuti vanhu vanovhotera mibato inoitwa nababa Mnangagwa yavanoona, mibato inoitwa neZANU-PF, gutsa ruzhinji kuzadzikisa zvivimbiso zvakaitwa.
The Gutu East parliamentary by-election will be held on the 14th of June with 3 candidates, Comrade Zwarevashe Maswingise of ZANU-PF, Gift Gonese, an independent candidate, and Zivana Njenga of the NCA part, set to battle it out. The seat fell vacant after the expulsion of former Gutu East legislator Benjamin Ganyiwa from the ruling ZANU-PF party. Ms. Martina, ZBC News, Gutu.
And that's it for myself, Marilyn Gunya, and the Montrose crew for tonight. Joyce is on standby with more. Joyce, it's back to you.
Thank you, Marilyn, and our crew from Montrose Studios in Bulawayo. We're back in Harare. Zimbabwe is participating at this year's Belarusian Agro-Industrial Week in Minsk, focusing on showcasing modern agricultural equipment and enhancing mechanization partnerships.
Zimbabwe and Belarus are seeking to bolster their mechanization partnerships through Phase 4 of the Belarus Mechanization Program, which focuses on smallholder farmers and will see Zimbabwe acquiring small tractors. Zimbabwe's delegation in Belarus, led by the Deputy Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Water, Fisheries and Rural Development, Honorable Vangelis Aritatos, is attending the Belarusian Agro-Industrial Week, touring various stands and meeting with Belarusian business players.
We had a very good meeting with Minsk Tractors, who are the manufacturers of all the tractors and combine harvesters in Zimbabwe. We were looking at more now smaller scale tractors to fit smaller communities. So the A1, A2 farmers, those that have 6 hectares. We don't want to leave anyone behind, as the President says, leaving no one and no place behind. And so what we're trying to do now is to focus on the smaller implements, the smaller tractors, so that we can ensure that the smaller farmers also benefit from the mechanization drive.
Zimbabwe's envoy to Belarus, Ambassador Ignatius Mudzimba, believes trade opportunities between the two countries are vast.
We are now happy that Belarus, they are now prepared to set up production facilities in Zimbabwe, tractors, combine harvesters and the lot. And that will make even our tractors much cheaper.
Popularly known as Belagro, the Industrial Week, held since 1990, is one of the largest exhibitions of agro-industrial equipment. Zimbabwe is seeking to tap into the expertise in Belarus as the country drives towards food self-sufficiency and become an export hub for agro-produce.
The Communist Party of China says it has a responsibility to continue engaging progressive institutions like Zimbabwe's ruling ZANU-PF party to ensure modernization and economic development.
The visiting delegation from the Communist Party of China was at the Chitepo School of Ideology in Harare this Thursday to engage on various issues, including enhancing governance capabilities. The CPC highlighted the shared responsibility of both parties in spearheading modernization efforts in their countries.
And both the CBC and ZANU-PF, we realize that on our shoulder is the heavy responsibility of realizing the modernization of our respective country. And we face some common challenges and common tasks, both in developing the economy and in modernization. Therefore, we have every reason to strengthen the dialogues and exchanges between us for mutual learning. Through mutual learning like this, we can together explore what it means to build a strong party and what it means to realize modernization.
The Chitepo School of Ideology believes leveraging on established institutions will stimulate development in Zimbabwe.
If we are going to industrialize as a nation, if we are going to modernize, if we are going to create employment for our youths, we have to follow the footsteps of the Communist Party of China. And rightly so, we are on those footsteps. When they got their independence in 1949, their first stage, which they are sharing with us, is that they nationalized, they repossessed their land and gave it to their people. And this is exactly what we have done.
Meanwhile, the pioneer class at the newly completed Chitepo School of Ideology building in Harare Central Business District is scheduled to complete its studies this Friday.
In the courts, a 50-year-old early childhood development ECD teacher has appeared at the Harare Magistrates Court facing charges of culpable homicide.
Martha Karota Rice, who resides in Rugare and works at St. Anne's Primary School in Meborane in Harare, was arrested on the 4th of this month. The charge stems from a tragic incident on the 3rd of this month when a 3-year-old pupil, Elroitinae Shemtandiro, drowned in the school's swimming pool. According to the prosecution, Rice allegedly left 7 pupils unattended and also left the gate to the swimming pool open when she entered the school building. During her absence, young Elroy reportedly fell into the pool area and drowned. The court heard that Rice was the sole adult responsible for supervising the children at the time of the incident. The state contends that her negligence directly contributed to the child's death. Rice has been remanded in custody. Peter Chivima, CBC News Harare.
Despite being regarded as a scary profession by many, the death care industry is of late attracting a lot of women. Let's take a look.
While death remains a mystery, there is a unique group of individuals who prepared the deceased for burial. We caught up with female morticians who gave us an insight into the nature of their profession.
Industry ndakajoina 2006 ndichishanda sa-undertaker. Kubva pakatangawo kunzi taenzana kuti mabasa anoitwa nevechirume akuitwa nevamadzimai. Saka ipapo ndakaonawo zvakakodzera kuti ndiende kunojoina industry as undertaker ndiri mudzimai. Mazuva ekutanga unombovhundukawo mazuva mairi matatu munhu wawatanga kuona akashaika. Saka unotombovhundukawo kuti munhu akafa, but wozongoda kungoti aiwa Mwari ndibatsirei ibasa.
While the number of women flocking the industry is rising, professional challenges do exist.
Basa randinoita inini pano reumotician nderekugezesa hama dzedu dzinenge dzatisiya, tinovagezesa nekuvapfekedza zvakanaka zvinoita kuti hama dzedu kunyangwe patinonodzichengetedza dziende dziri dzakachena. Ndinodriva hama dzedu dzinenge dzatisiya kuenda kunzvimbo dzakasiyana siyana muno muZimbabwe. Kazhinji patinofamba nevabereki havanyanyi kuisa trust kwatiri vanhukadzi. Vanenge vachingoti mukadzi anogona here kukwidza gomo iri, mukadzi anozopa yambuka iri parwisi. Asi isusu tinoona zviri nyore. Patinozozviita ndo pavanozova neconfidence matiri.
The job has its fair share of unpleasant connotations.
Ndakaona kuti industry vanhu vanodzikisira uye vanhu vanotaura zvakawanda zvinoitika kumariro. Saka ini semudzimai ndakada kuona kuti zviriko here zvinhu izvozvo. Pekutanga zvakambotinetsai, especially vabereki vangu vakaona ngenda kushanda basa rinotyisa kana murume wangu akambonetseka, but nekufamba kwenguva akatozoona kuti aiwa ibasa chairo rinotoshandika zvakanaka uye ndikutodzoka kumba ndichita basa remudzimai.
Attending to the dead is no easy task. It takes courage, dedication and professionalism. Festus Mkungurutse, CBC News Harare.
Our morticians are an essential group in our society. Thank you for the sterling job. On that note, we take a break. We come back taking a look at the arts.
In the month of July 2025, the world will gather at one of nature's greatest wonders, Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe. From the 23rd to the 31st of July 2025, Zimbabwe will proudly host the 15th meeting of the Conference of the Contracting Parties to the Convention on Wetlands, COP15. This is more than a conference, it's a call to action running under the theme Protecting Wetlands for Our Common Future. COP15 will unite 173 nations to address pressing issues: wise use of wetlands, biodiversity loss, climate change, and sustainable development. Together, we will explore innovative solutions, strengthen global commitments, and ensure wetlands remain vital for the current generation and those to come. Join us in shaping a sustainable future. COP15, Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe, July 23rd to 31st. Protecting wetlands for our common future starts here. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Environment, Climate and Wildlife.
Crowd goes absolutely emphatic. He has done it.
Get ready for more on Supersport, the only place to watch all the FIFA Club World Cup.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We jump straight into the arts. We Blayo-based multi-award-winning dance group, Mzinyama Dance Ensemble, has been in the arts scene for 16 years and continues to showcase Zimbabwe's rich cultural diversity.
With the goal of becoming the best traditional and cultural dance group in the country, as the Mnyama Dance Ensemble continues to showcase its artistic prowess in traditional dance by communicating messages that affect people on a day-to-day basis.
The whole idea was to bring together the talent which the youths, especially from Machovan and Blawayo, possesses, and also to communicate my messages, especially these days, about drugs, teenage pregnancies, HIV and AIDS, and also to preserve our cultural traditions.
Being a dance group with members ranging in age from 17 to 32 years, the ensemble's speciality in African and contemporary dance routines has made it one of the most well-traveled groups. The group has been to a number of countries across the globe, showcasing the country's rich cultural diversity.
So when we perform these things, and we're trying to involve everyone and also to accept everyone, my cultures as it defines Zimbabwe as a multicultural society.
The popular arts outfit harnesses dance to display the beauty of African dance moves.
Mina okwangenza ngajoyina ezemnyama ukuthi ngabona ukuthi ikho lapho emfunda khona ezemvelo amasiko ethu.
Ngajoyina ezemnyama 2009. Okwenza ngajoyina ezemnyama because ngabona ukuthi ikho kule mpilo khona.
The multi-award-winning dance ensemble has performed in European countries, which include Spain, France, Italy, and Switzerland. Lisa Correa, CBC News, Bulawayo.
And that report taking us to a break. We'll come back with the latest in sport with Anna Shemrombedzi in the Sports Corner.
Asilwela ukunqoba kuphela, kepha silwela ukwakha isizwe esinohlonze. Hayibo! Sishalanga! Sekunjalo.
Welcome to the Sports Corner. Anna Shemrombedzi here with the latest in the world of sport. Now, Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation technical operator Nyasha Marira has left the country for her third Comrades Marathon slated for Durban, South Africa on Sunday.
The Comrades Marathon has been a game changer for Marira, helping her stay fit and focused both on and off the job. As she prepares to tackle the challenging 90-kilometer route, she is powered by her passion for running and commitment to her fitness journey.
I can assure you that this is my time and this is my season. As a ZBC technical operator, pandichadzoka ndabata kamera ka andizvimbi makumbo andibatwi neBP anditi anything, but I can promise you and I can assure you kuti as a camera person or technical operation at EBT department, because you know mabasa edu atinomboita kuti they are difficult and they are not easy as such, but after this one I can carry myself easily. Hapana kana pain andinonzwa. I can even stand per camera for 9 hours.
Nyasha will be joined by thousands of other athletes, including seasoned runners and first-time participants, all vying for a spot on the podium.
I'm hoping to run a sub 7:30, which we call a silver medal. But sometimes if it doesn't happen, then I just pick the next or the closest target after that. Yeah.
I'm going again for the second edition, and I'm expecting it to be much better than last time. Last year it was an up run, and this year it's a down run. Saka zvekuteremuka tichadogurubuka, and tichanodzikisa time this time around.
As a first timer, I'm a bit nervous, but I'm hoping I'm going to do my best and I'm going to give it my all.
The Comrades Marathon has a rich history, and Zimbabwean athletes have made their mark on the event. Legendary long-distance runner Stephen Mushingi won the Comrades Marathon 3 times, triumphing in 2009, 2010 and 2011.
Standing Warriors coach Simon Marange believes his young squad needs more time together to produce results after they played out to a goalless draw against Mauritius in the 2025 COSAFA Cup match in Bloemfontein, South Africa this Wednesday.
The Warriors shared the spoils with Mauritius in their first Group B match at the regional tournament. Zimbabwe is using a developmental side with an average age of 20 as they have one eye towards the 2028 Olympic qualifiers set for next year. With just one training session under their belt, standing coach Simon Marange believes his charges acquitted themselves well.
We could have done other things better. We've trained once. So they're not magicians. It takes a bit of time to work on these things. So I don't think we necessarily went wrong anyway. I thought the boys really applied themselves. There's obviously areas that can get better. You see set pieces, it tells you you've trained once. You see maybe physically minutes 70 to 85 we struggle with coping, but you look at Zim, we play in grounds, not stadiums, so distance covered. All those things we need to look at and say, how can we help these players?
Zimbabwe are third with a single point, same as Mauritius, while Mozambique lead the group with 3 points after shocking host South Africa 1-0 in the tournament opener. The group winners will progress to the semi-finals of the competition. Meanwhile, substantive Warriors coach Michael Nessa, who is leading another group of Warriors, mainly established national team players, believe the friendly matches in Morocco will be more of the team integration.
We want to integrate these new players. We basically will have to play with a complete new midfield because all the players are out, which are usually were playing so far or starting in the midfield. So that we have to work on.
Zimbabwe take on Burkina Faso this Friday before battling Niger on Tuesday, with the 2 international friendlies set for Morocco. Lawrence Trusida, CBC News Harare.
That's it from the Sports Corner, where the report and focus is up next.
Well, greetings and welcome. It is time for your evening weather update. My name is Benjamin Kwaramba. I hope I find you well. Cloudy, cool and windy conditions over the south and eastern parts of the country. There was patchy drizzle in some places, while many other areas were mostly partly cloudy, windy and cold. In the satellite images received this afternoon, they show the cloud that affected the south and eastern parts of the country in the early hours, giving you some patchy drizzle in places. As we move into the week, we expect more clearing and we should be having more sunshine than cloud. However, towards Monday and Tuesday, cloud is expected to drift in from the north, giving you partly cloudy to cloudy conditions in those areas. Your minimum temperature is expected for tomorrow: Harare 9, Gweru 8, Bulawayo 9, same for Gwanda. Victoria Falls 12 degrees Celsius, Kariba at 15, 14 is expected at Chirezi. Maximum temperatures should be between 22 and 24 for most areas, while Kariba should be having 29, Victoria Falls at 27 and Chirezi 24 degrees Celsius. For the detailed forecast, sunny conditions, in fact clear skies with very cold morning conditions at Bulawayo. Same for Matopos, expect some slight ground frost over that area with windy conditions on Monday. Same for Gwanda, clear skies expected, very cold in the morning, becoming mild to warm later. Same for Gweru, expect some slight to moderate ground frost over the Gweru area. Clear skies over Masvingo with your maximum temperatures in the upper 20s. Well, Nyanga expects slight to moderate ground frost. Marondera, same again, clear skies, very cold in the morning, becoming mild to warm. Harare again, expect some slight ground frost over Harare. Same for Kwekwe, under clear skies, very cold in the morning, becoming mild to warm later. Kadoma, clear skies, mild at first, becoming warm in the afternoon. Slight ground frost expected tomorrow at Chinoi. Victoria Falls, clear skies, maximum temperatures in the upper 20s. Lupane. Expect some slight ground frost over Lupane under clear skies. It should be warm by afternoon. Slight moderate ground frost expected at Bindura, Kariba. Maximum temperatures in the upper 20s. Well, that does it in tonight's edition of the weather report and focus. Let's make a date again tomorrow at the same time. Good evening, Zimbabwe.
Well, thank you, Benjamin, for the weather report and forecast. Concluding tonight's main news from all of us here, it's good night.
Good night.